Hi all, today we are going to discuss about mega ohm meter, which is also called as Megger. This is mainly used to measure the insulation resistance of machines, insulators, bushings, etc. So the need for measuring the insulation resistance is, if you take any insulating material, with respect to time that insulating properties will go on decreasing. This can be either due to electrical or mechanical stresses or absorption of the moisture, dust, etc. by that insulating material, hence the insulation resistance will goes on decreasing. So that's why periodic maintenance or periodic checking of the insulation resistance is required in order to avoid the short circuit due to insulation failure. That's why periodically the insulation of every material is tested. So further the instrument will look like this. There are basically two types of instrument. First one is the handheld, hand operated instrument. So in this case there will be a crankshaft. So using this we can rotate this and to produce the voltage. No separate battery or voltage source is required. So inside permanent magnet DC motor, DC generator will be there, that will generate the required voltage by rotating this crankshaft. So this crank will be rotated to produce the voltage, and that voltage will be used for measuring the resistance of insulation resistance of the unknown resistance. So for that what will be there, this is a positive terminal, this will be connected to one side of the insulating material, this negative terminal will be connected to another side. So this terminal is called as the guard wire or guard terminal. This is used for bypassing any leakage current that happens in the insulation. So what is leakage current, how it comes is already discussed in the previous lecture. You can please go through that to understand what is the need or requirement of this guard ring. So in this case the major disadvantage is when you are measuring, if a single person is measuring, so we have to keep the connections to the respective voltage, as well as we have to rotate this crankshaft, which may be difficult by a single person. So that's why the alternative for this one is we can go for battery operated Megger. In the case of battery operated, so batteries will be used for supplying the required voltage. Only you have to make the connection to the instrument whichever you want to measure the resistance, so directly it will give the reading. But the disadvantage of this one is the cost of these electronic Megger will be very costly when compared to the manual type. So that's why you will see in practice most of the cases people go for hand operated or manual Megger only. So this is a traditional, because this hand operated Megger is also called as a deflection type. So type Megger is a permanent magnet crossed coil shunt type ohm meter. So there are basically two types of ohm meter. So we are going to discuss about what is this cross coil shunt type, how the ohm meter work and working principle, torque equation, others, while discussing the analog instruments. Here I will explain you the basic working principle, what is required to understand the Megger only. So remaining details will be discussed there in analog instruments after learning the basics, how the instruments works. So then the permanent magnet DC generator is used to generate the required voltage. So the voltage rating can be either 100 volts, 200 volts, 500 volts, 1000, 1500 or 2500, but generally 500 volts is most commonly available in the market, and sometimes we go for 1000 volts or even 2500 volts. And the amount of voltage required for measurement, or it depends on amount of insulation or amount of insulation resistance you want to measure. We know that thickness of any insulation depends on the voltage rating of the equipment. So more the voltage rating of equipment, more will be the thickness of insulation. That means more will be the insulation resistance. That means how to decide which voltage we have to use. Generally we decide this voltage rating depending on what is the voltage rating of the respective equipment. If the voltage rating of equipment is more, automatically the thickness of insulation will be more. That's why we have to go for high voltage. If the voltage rating of equipment is less, then we can go for 500 volts is generally sufficient. So now coming to the generator is a hand driven through a gear arrangement and through a centrifugally controlled clutch switch, which slips at a predefined speed so that the constant voltage will be produced. What does it mean? So construction will be like this. There are two permanent magnets, north pole, south pole, they will act as poles. So this will have a crank. So through this crank, by rotating this crank, so this rotor will rotate. When the rotor is rotated, EMF is generated. So now this voltage will be applied to this one. We are going to prove that actually this is a ratio type meter. That means the torque produced will be ratio of torque produced by two coils. That means the torque produced will be independent of the voltage that is applied. But the problem comes if you take any high materials, that like let us take for example I am taking the cable will have a conductor. above that there will be insulation, and above that there will be a sheath is used. So whenever you give the supply, because this will be at supply potential and this will be at ground potential. So because of this, what happens, whenever you give the voltage, capacitance will be formed. So when you connect the supply, initially some charging current will pass through them. After some time it will get charged. I am telling for the case of DC, and then there is no problem. So if the voltage is varying, that means your speed we cannot maintain constant, because manually we are rotating. We cannot rotate at constant speed. If voltage is varying, when the voltage is changing, accordingly the charging and discharging of this capacitor happens. So that is going to disturb the reading of your instrument. I am repeating once again. So when you are measuring the insulation distance of cable, for example, because when you connect the plus terminal here, let us assume minus terminal here, because this is a conductor, there is insulation, and outer side there is a sheath. So sheath is also conductor, so it will act as a capacitor. So when you connect it, it will initially take some time to charge. That's why when you are connecting Megger for measuring the insulation resistance, you should not take the initial reading. You have to wait for some time. After that, whatever reading it is showing, that is the final reading, because the capacitor will take some time to charge. Once the capacitor is charged, it will act as an open circuit there. So only it will measure the resistance. But now if the voltage is changing or fluctuating while measurement, so automatically when voltage is changed, again capacitor will start charging, because we know IC is equal to C into dV by dt. So because of that, it may give the wrong result. That's why in order to avoid this problem and to maintain the constant voltage, so generally it will be like that. When you rotate this, if you rotate more than the rated speed, automatically clutch will be there. So even though you are rotating it more than the speed, rotor will rotate at constant speed only. It will not run above that speed, so that type of errors will not be introduced. So here the unknown resistance will be connected here across these terminals, and the connection will be like this. So I am starting from the positive terminal. This positive terminal comes. So this positive terminal, you can see this positive terminal is connected to CC, which is called as controlling coil. This controlling coil is connected to RC, that means controlling resistance. This is used for controlling the current that is passing through the CC. That means because this is for, it depends on the torque calculation of these things. It is mainly to limit the current as well as for maintaining the ratio, so that uniform scale will be obtained. So this RC will be connected, through that it will return back. So what I mean, so this CC is always connected to your generator. So as the CC is always connected to this generator, we are going to show how the torque will be produced. So always torque will be produced by the CC, and it is constant because it is not disturbed. Voltage is equal to constant. So now coming to the second coil, you can see the second coil, it is connected to positive terminal, and the second side terminal is connected to RD. Again, this is also used for the calibration purpose only, in order to maintain the uniform scale and current limiting. So this RD will be connected through your unknown resistance and will return back. So this purpose of this RD is twofold. One thing is the limit the current when there is a short circuit that is happened here, because if the current crosses the limit, this may burn. And second one, it is also used for this, what you call the calibration of your scale. So the unknown resistance will be connected here. Now what happens, because of the leakage current, the readings that are obtained may be wrong. So in order to avoid the effect of the leakage currents, so one guard ring or the guard circuit is used, which will be connected to the outer surface or insulation of all the positively connected circuits. So that will be connected to ground. This guard circuit will be connected to ground. So that entire thing I have not shown here, only I am indicating here one guard circuit will also be used here. I hope this is clear up to now. So coming to this coil names are CC, means control coil, or which is also called as voltage coil in some books. And second one is CD. CD stands for the deflecting or current coil, which is mainly responsible for measurement of the resistance. So let us see how it will measure. So to understand the basic concept of working, so this equivalent circuit I can draw like this. So this instrument, whatever is there, there is a north pole, there is a south pole. This is my current coil. The current coil winding will be made like this. So longitudinal wire is there, it will return back. So it is actually wound like this. So that same winding I have made, it is wound like this. So now whenever some current is passing through this one, let us assume some current is passed through this one. So whenever the current is passing, you can apply the right hand thumb rule. When the current is passing through the conductor, the direction of the flux can be found by hold your conductor, that coil in your hand in such a way, your curled finger indicates the direction of the current, then your thumb indicates the direction of the magnetic field. Then your thumb indicates the direction of the magnetic field. Let us take for example, in this case, I am assuming that the flux that is produced is like this. So this is my north pole and this is the south pole that is produced. So now what happens, whatever field is produced by this one, this north pole will be attracted by this south pole and the south pole will be attracted by this north pole, and it is held by the center. In the center it is pivoted to a shaft. So now within this shaft it can freely rotate. So because of the torque it will try to align in the direction of this magnetic field. That means it will try to align in the direction of the magnetic field. You can see it is aligned at some angle. So whatever field is produced, it will coming at some angle. So in order to align horizontal to this magnetic field, what should it do? It will move downwards, because when it will align to the magnetic field, when this coil is coming like this. So when the coil position is like this, it will align along the magnetic field, or the flux produced will be along this magnetic field. So that means, let us assume that Rx is equal to infinite, current passes only through this control coil. So because of that, the torque will be produced like that, this pointer will move upwards and pointer will show infinite reading. I hope this is clear up to now. Now coming to this coil. Again this coil also, the winding will be made in this way. That means the winding will be made in this way. The winding will be made in this way. Again, when the current is passing through this one, let us assume the north pole and the south pole that is produced. So it is produced like this. So there is a north pole, there is a south pole. Again same thing, this south pole will be attracted by this north pole. This north pole is attracted by this south pole. So it want to align in this direction. It want to align in this direction. It want to align means it will try to rotate in this direction. That means if this deflecting torque is more than the controlling torque, so it will try to align in this direction, but the property of this one is it want to align in opposite direction. Or what I mean to tell, the torque produced by the current coil is in opposite direction to the torque that is produced by the deflecting coil or the current coil. So depending on which torque is more, accordingly it will align in such a way that the torque will be equal by both these coils. Or let us assume that this terminal is short circuited. That means the insulation resistance, there is some fault happened, there is some insulation failure. That means it is equivalent to short circuit. So under short circuit condition, resistance is equal to 0. So only RD is limiting the current. So more current will pass through this coil. That means the torque produced by CD is far greater than CC. So this is dominating. How this coil will rotate? It will try to align in this way. That means this coil will align like this. So this coil will come in this way. So when the coil is coming like this, this pointer will move downwards. It will show the 0 reading. I am repeating this entire concept once again. So the coil is wound like this. So the torque produced by the CC will be like that. It want to align, the magnetic field produced by this CC want to align in the direction of the field. When it will be aligned? When the CC is in the horizontal axis like this. When CC is in the horizontal axis. That means if the resistance is equal to infinite, then the current carried by CC is more and CD is equal to 0. In that case, it will align along infinite. So now under short circuit conditions, the torque produced by CD will be more than CC, and the CD want to align in the horizontal direction. That means this will rotate like this and align in the horizontal direction like this. So when it is aligning like this, the pointer is moving down, it will show the 0 reading. So generally always the resistance will be some defined value. So according to the resistance, it will align in between these two depending on the value of the resistance. So generally we are going to see in the analog type of instrument, there I am going to derive the equation for the torque. So the torque will be the ratio of the currents passing through these two coils. So as you are taking the ratio, so that's why it is independent of the voltage that is applied, because the current passing through both coils depending on the voltage that is applied. We are taking the ratio, so voltage term will cancel out. So it is independent of voltage. And in order to protect the surface leakage current, that means to divert the surface leakage current, the guard wire arrangement is used so that the current will be directed from the main moving system and it is not affected. I hope the Megger is completely clear to you. If you still have any queries, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. I will answer to your queries from there. Thank you very much.